And so we're doing another motorcycle video. I'm back working on my 2006 Honda Shadow 750. It's an RC44, and I've got a couple other videos that kind of go over what I've done to it. Obviously, it's been changed a little. What I'm working on today is my exhaust. My exhaust has been a topic of conversation with a lot of the groups that I've shared this bike with. People either really like it or really do not like it. Personally, what I had in my head whenever I started building it turned out exactly like that. It turned out the way I expected it to look. I love the look. What I don't like is the way it sounds. It sounds awful. Or not awful. It's not awful, but it doesn't sound good. I don't like it. It's also very hot. Now, if you're moving, it's this part right here that tends to be an issue. It's right along the inner thigh. If you're moving at all, it doesn't take much wind at all to whisk away the heat. But if you have to stop for any measurable amount of time, it starts getting up there pretty good. You definitely notice that it's happening. Part of my mentality here is I always do this stuff. If it doesn't add performance, then it needs to be cheap. The cheapest thing that I can do, and that's why I'm using these mufflers. These mufflers were off of either a CM400 or one of my CX500s or GL500. You know, it's a small, mid-tier Honda, most likely. Well, I know it's Honda because they say Honda on them, but they're old. The insides have already been gutted by one of the previous owners, and I just don't care much for it. But I'm applying that same mentality to what I'm going back with. What I'm going to put on are these things, these carbon fiber Moto Grand Prix mufflers, I think is what it says. These were the cheapest mufflers that I could get that actually fit the area that I was looking to work with. They were under $30 a piece on eBay, and they are exactly what you'd think you'd get for $30. The material is stainless steel on both ends. The carbon fiber annoys me, not because it's fake carbon fiber, because it's $30. I expected it to be fake carbon fiber, but it's because it is like a hydro dipped print that's on an aluminum shell. The ends are stainless. I think that the end out here is stainless. It's really hard to tell, but it's hard. It's harder than aluminum should be. But the shell is aluminum. If this had been available, brushed metal from one end to the other, that's what I would have bought. This, I imagine, once it starts getting scraped and the finish starts wearing, I will probably pull all the rivets off, take it apart and strip it and brush it. But it is, predominantly stainless and aluminum. It has a little bit under 2 inch, about 1 7/8 inches internal diameter, and I mean, it's not awesome, but it's made pretty well, I think. I feel like it's made pretty well. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to get those set up on this bike. I'm going to do a couple of videos idling and a brief ride so that I get a sound of these, and then we're going to do more video sound of these mufflers. spending today ignoring most of my chores. I've got these things pulled off and the new carbon fiber mufflers set up. This is one of the things I meant to mention whenever I was talking about them. Almost all these cheap mufflers, they come with something like this. They call it a decibel killer. And for the most part, like on my CX500, it had little round ones that went inside because the ends of these are contoured. This was kind of a pain to get out, but this thing is set up where it's got basically 3 different configurations with nothing. There's a little, this is a choke in itself, and then inside this is another one. So you have a couple of different tuning options. However, I don't like running these at all. I like the pipes to be open. Now, we'll point out this. This is something I don't really like about the setup, but I'll probably adjust it a little bit as time goes on. Is the last pipes, because they flared out and they were kind of angled up a little bit, they filled that gap a little bit more. I don't really like the angle quite so much. Now it doesn't look terrible, but I would like it if they had a little bit more angle to them. So I might add a little bit more angle to them when I had some free time. I also went and wrapped these, thinking maybe that will help a little bit with the heat. Probably not, but it does at least, make those cheap pipes look a little bit better. Usually I don't like that stuff, but in this case, I think it did okay. So we've got our sound clips from earlier. Let's see what these sound like. Actually, I already know what they sound like. Exhaust is hitting the phone, rattling it around. All right, we'll get a couple of moving shots. So that's that. All told, I like the sound. I like it a lot better than what those gutted old Honda mufflers were. I will come back and adjust this a little bit. I think it really needs that angle up instead of coming out flat like that. Oh well. I can say, this stuff was not particularly cheap, but man, it was just smoking the whole time. It made it hot. It almost felt hotter than it did before I added that stuff to it. Maybe it'll break in a little bit better. Now, at any rate, that's that for now. Thanks everybody for watching. Have a wonderful day.